Hello everybody, my name is Cilantro and welcome to my Factorio Let's Play. If you've never heard of Factorio, this is a really awesome game. It's a factory simulator, and okay, so that's really pretty much the best way to describe it. It's a factory simulator, but it's a lot of fun. I've done some playthroughs of this before, one on my stream a while back, and just messed around with it. It's a really good game for people who like to be creative and especially like to watch like a technological progress through a game. In that aspect, it actually kind of reminds me of Civ. You know how you sort of go through all the different technologies in Civ. The progression's pretty crazy in this game, and we'll obviously get to all that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Just going to generate the world, and we're going to get right into it here. So start a new game. You can change all the settings that you want, but I think I'm actually just going to keep it as the defaults. The default stuff is fine. It'll be, still fairly challenging to build everything, and I just don't see any reason to load myself up with like a bunch of extra resources or really starve myself. Just gonna have some fun with the game. So generate a new world, and here we are. This is the Factorio free play. Your task is to prepare the planet for colonizing forces from the Earth. Landing ships would be an easy target for attacks from the native bases. However, they can be protected by a rocket defense. You'll need to research advanced technologies in order to unlock the rocket defense. Start small, work your way up with automation, and don't forget to protect from the natives. So that's a little nice quick story intro. You can see that this game has some really nice zoom functionality. You can zoom in, zoom out, move your character around. This game was actually recently released with a new multiplayer addition to it, which is quite nice. I had a chance to play that actually, which was really cool. I think my music's just slightly too loud, so let me just turn the master down, and I would wager that that is ambient, so I will lower that down a little bit. There, that sounds better. If it's too much or too little, just let me know in the comments. There's a number of resources that you can gather. There's trees to be chopped, iron to be mined, copper to be mined. I'm pretty sure there's coal to be mined. There are all sorts of things that you can do in this game, and here's just a preview of all of the different researches you can do. I mean, we've got everything from engine parts that are used to make let's see what else. We'll see what else I can make. Yeah, robots that fly around and do your bidding, energy armor, stuff like let's see here. There we go. Grenades. Gates, I would imagine, for like walls and such. So you can research alien technology for even better power armor. Flammables allows you to get a flamethrower. Oh yeah, you can even do like rails, which is cool. You can make train stations that sort of go around and do their thing. So anyway, let's get right into it. You actually are gifted a few pieces of equipment here to start. As you can see, I have a stone furnace and a burner mining drill. I'll get into what these do here in a little bit, but first things first, I need to look at the map and try to find some coal, because we're going to need some coal. Looks like there's a little bit to the southwest, hopefully enough to at least get me started here. Oops. So I think I'll head out that way. Probably chop a few trees on the way there. So I know I will need some wood to start things off. Choppity 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 chop. Now this game is actually, I believe, still classified as being in the alpha stages, but it doesn't feel like an alpha at all. I wouldn't say it's feature complete, but it's really dang close. I mean, there's definitely hours and hours of fun to be had in this game. Exploring, building things, all that sort of stuff. So no reason to be worried about buying into an early alpha that doesn't have very many features. I know I've played so many games, especially as of late, where you buy into it and you're really excited, and then you find out that it has nothing, and then the developers take a million years to get anything else done. But no such problems here. And I have played the multiplayer, which again was added fairly recently, and it works quite well. It's actually surprisingly good. So I'm gonna lose the coal there. Oh, went a little bit too far west. Need to zoom in here and see if I can't see it. I'm pretty sure those little black dots are coal. There sure are a lot of trees around here. Somewhere around here maybe. Let's chop out some more of this area and see if I can't find it. Ah, I see it. I see it under this area. So we'll just clear out some of this stuff here and get ready to do some mining. Probably going to need to manually pick up some iron as well to get things started. Probably going to be blitzing through the sort of tech tree very early. The early tech levels have some sort of, I don't know, they're like dead-end techs that only really help you at the very, very beginning. You know, things that allow you to do stuff like with very primitive coal burners and such. So I'll be likely trying to blitz through that to find more permanent solutions to any of my problems. As you can also see, this has a day-night cycle. It can get pretty dark at night, so you got to be very careful, obviously, not to run into any issues out there. So the game starts off pretty quiet, as you can tell. There are alien nests out there that will grow as you do more and more stuff. You know, if you start to get too industrial, you'll pollute a lot, and then the pollution will actually cause animals and monsters to come after you and attempt to punch you in your kidneys or otherwise harm you in any way that they can. And this is just like any other game. Death is usually not something you want to have happen to you, so ideally you'd want to avoid that. We will definitely need to be going in search of a much larger coal deposit at some point, because there's no way this is going to support me for very long. But for a starter, it'll do just fine. So I'm just going to clear out a little bit more of the area here. Hopefully it'll go back to daytime here soon so I can see a little bit better. Alright, good enough. So let's take a look at the map here, and it looks like there's actually a little bit of coal up there, so that'll be a good secondary deposit. Not too far from what we've already got here. But it looks like there's some iron. If you hit the T key, you can actually see all the different technologies you can research. You need laboratories to do this. Laboratories require electrical power, so it'll be a little while before I actually get that. But if you hit E, you can see your inventory. You can see all the different techs that you've already obtained or completed. You know, here it just allows you to go right into producing a lab and all that, making an electric mining drill, which I definitely want to get up very, very soon. I'd like to skip, like I said, as many of the early technologies as I can. You know, I don't plan on rushing through this playthrough. I'm not going to, you know, burn myself out by blitzing through the technology and stuff, but it doesn't preclude me from making a few intelligent decisions about my long-term infrastructure. Wow, that made this game sound really, really boring. Hey guys, I just want to make sure I'm optimizing my long-term infrastructure investments. Sounds like the kind of phrase somebody who says the words win-win a lot would use. Oh boy. Boy, we are just banging on all cylinders to start this off, aren't we? That's just how I roll, I guess. That is just how I roll. So I'm going to try to jump right into electricity if I can, even if it means I have to mine a bunch of ore manually. Got myself an iron pick. Continue to swing here for a little bit. Also going to need to clear out these trees for darn sure. Oh, there's a cute little fish in the water. Look at that. See him up there? Swimming around in the pond. I'll just wrap this up here real quick. Break my first pick on some iron, why not? Sounds like a plan. See how many I'll actually get out of a single pick. Looks like about 35. Yeah, 35. I feel like I'm dedicated to getting this one already since I got half of it with a pick, so go ahead and finish it off. I'll be digging this up manually. It's very nice for this planet to have these resources right on the surface and not like buried underground. Very convenient. It's almost as if it was planned that way. And we'll definitely need some coal as well, but I want to take a look at what exactly we need here. So you need boilers and steam engines in order to be able to make electricity. Normally you start off with, you know, quite a few of these things, but I'm only likely going to need a single boiler to get things started. But I will need to smelt the metal that I get, the iron that I get, obviously here. So I will do that presently. Let's go drop a stone furnace over here. Yeah, sure, why not? Right here, looks good enough. It's telling me I don't have any fuel, so I will obviously want to rectify that. Got myself another pick, so I'll just chisel up some of this coal right here. Chinkity 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 chink. Got all the sound effects. They're wearing some sort of a hazmat suit or something. Man, one guy's putting his whole arm into it, but don't you normally use 2 hands for a pickaxe? I feel like this guy's doing it wrong. Like, hey man, I know you just landed on this planet, but this should be some pretty basic stuff. Obviously didn't read the instruction manual when he got on this planet. I'm sure the natives are like, oh, hello stranger, have an instruction manual on how everything works here, including the basics of just your, even your civilization and how mining works. Okay, so it's probably not very likely, but meh. Alright, let's melt some of this stuff here. Put some coal in the fuel slot, put some iron ore in the other slot, and bam! Cooking it up. Now we're cooking with gas. So I'm going to need to clear off this iron deposit. So I think I will do that while I'm waiting for all of that such stuff to finish doing what it does. The old smelting. And we'll also clear out a little bit of extra land here to get myself a rudimentary electric grid set up. Didn't really bother explaining sort of the whole smelting process. I mean, this is pretty standard fare. If you've ever played Minecraft or Terraria or Starbound or Skyrim or really any game that's ever had this sort of mechanic. Hey, there's a furnace. We add fuel to the furnace, we add ore to the furnace, and it magically turns itself into iron plates. Quite convenient. Glad that it is a furnace slash rolling pin. One very heavy-duty rolling pin. I don't think you could really use a wooden rolling pin to roll out iron. Something tells me the logistics of that just would not work out very well. Just have a hunch. I have a hunch. We're getting there. This is quite a deposit. I probably shouldn't bother clearing off all of this because I don't really need all of it right now. Just a good chunk of it. Alright, let's see how much we got here. Quite a bit. 26 should be enough to get me at least started. What do we have here? I need a... Oh! I actually need a stone furnace for another boiler. Because the stone furnace itself is used to make a boiler. So we're going to need to find some stone, and to find some stone we're going to need to look at the map. And assuming these little splotches here are stone, looks like I just have to head a little bit to the east to grab some. So see if I can't make my way through the trees here. Ah! Dense foliage! Well, we're going to be deforesting this place. I might as well do it while I'm running around. A little bit further to go. Not too far. I think I see some. Are you hiding behind this, broski? I think you are. You hiding back there? No, maybe not. Oh, there you are. You're hiding behind this one. Okay. Being all sneaky. Sneaky Pete. Should probably get another pickaxe, actually. Let's see here. Oh, cool. I have the materials to do so. Nice! I was afraid I'd have to, like, smelt something again or something. We'll dig up a little bit of stone here while I'm at it. Probably will end up setting up some sort of an automated mining process for this. As it is very likely I will need a large quantity of stone in the long run. One thing I am liking, and I mean I haven't obviously got there yet, but looking at the map, there's a lot of oil around here. I really, really like that quite a bit. I mean, oil is a very, very important late game resource, and to have 4, 6, 9, 12, looks like about 17 oil deposits in a very small area. That's really, really good. Also kind of like that this is a very nice defensive perimeter. I'll probably end up going scouting here soon, actually. See if I can find any other deposits of coal, especially as I do not have a ton of that. And see if this will otherwise be a good place to make a base. A base place. Base place for my face. I'm just going to grab like 25 or so. Should probably actually see what I need instead of just going right for it. How many of these do I need? Okay, so I can make 5. So that's good enough for now. I mean, I'm just going to make 1, really. Oh, and I will need some copper for the electric mining drill. Alright, see if I can make my way through the forest here. Safely, quickly, efficiently. There we go. Where to set up my electricity? I guess I'll set it up over here. Have a little bit extra room over this way. Not really worried about running out of space right now, and this is likely all going to be temporary. It's very likely that I'll eventually do some grand design for some crazy base. But we're just going to go for one boiler and one steam engine. I know from experience that you can actually have a 4-to-3 ratio. 4 boilers can very safely feed enough water to a single steam engine. Also going to need a offshore pump, which is going to need some more iron, which is also going to need some copper. So let's go do that. Cool. So let's do that. And I would just like to get to the point where I can get miners set up. Not like small children, but electric miners. Jumping right to electric miners, even though it's going to require a little bit more tedious stuff, it's a little bit more resource efficient. I don't have to use coal to, mine stuff. And since I'm a little light on coal, I think I'd rather use the coal to power things electrically, rather than spend the resources on just powering my things coally. Instead of electrically, I don't want to power them coally. That's probably not a word. I'm fairly certain that's not a word.